roof above nations, even the US. And I was the parasite below, feeding off Zero's power. Making that deal in Cyprus. In Afghanistan. Cypher just keeps growing. Swallowing everything in its path. Getting bigger and bigger. Who knows how big now?
Epa.
Boss. I'm gonna make him get back our past. Take back everything that we've lost. And I'll not the rest. Until we do.
Pushing mother base.
Are you Mother Base? I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll make it bigger, better than before.
What should I do?
Boss,
Tell me. Tell me like you used to.
Hideo Kojima. Episodio 2. Perros de diamante. O diamante de perros. Me bajaron re duro.
things have changed, boss. We pull in money, recruits, just to combat Cypher. Rubbing our noses in bloody battlefield dirt. All for revenge. The world calls for wet work, and we answer. No greater good. No just cause.
God.
Cypher sent us to hell. But we're going even deeper.
I know. I'm already a demon. Heaven on my high places.
¿Se puede hacer eso? Peligroso. Ay, la patita.
Dogs of war for 9 whole years. That ends today. Now you're not sleeping, and we're not junkyard hounds. We're diamond dogs.
Let them talk.
We can crush Cypher, boss. And you can build the army that can do it.
Just one thing, Kyle. This isn't about the past. We're fighting for the future.
Okay. Go for them, not me. Hang on a minute, boss. I'm not finished.
Boss!
This isn't the time. That's enough. This isn't the time. isn't the time.
¿Quién está hablando? A ver.
Okay. This base belongs to you. Make Diamond Dogs the force. That's enough. This base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves. This isn't the time. That's enough. This isn't the time. This base belongs to you now. Make Diamond Dogs the force it deserves. Like any organization, we need good people. And we need to make good use of their talents. Miller asked me to lay that out there. That's enough. This isn't the time. That's enough. This isn't the time. That's enough. Start bringing people in. Use this. It's a Fulton recovery device. When you're in the field, use it to extract any soldiers or prisoners from one back here. We'll see if we can't persuade them to join the ranks of Diamond Dogs. Go on. Test it out on the staff here. Anyone you want. First, put them to sleep. You have a tranquilizer gun, don't you? And recover someone if they're not resistant. No dead bodies either. They don't make great recruits. The staff member you just extracted will be assigned to the team best suited to his abilities. See for yourself. Open your eyes.
Development project is being completed. Extraction failed. Extraction failed.
Vamos a hacer que nada, a ver. No sé si aplaudirlo. Ah, no se puede.
Boss, open your eyes. Select staff management from the mother base menu. Come on. Nope. So that staff member was placed on the R&D team. The R&D team is in charge of developing all kinds of weapons and items that will support you on missions. Take a look at the development list.
Select weapons items under the development heading.
Come on. Go ahead and select the red mark.
Please.
That's the R&D team's development list. Now select cardboard box and start development. Just be aware that development requires funds. GMP. Watch we don't end.
Development is finished.
Please select.
You can have the support unit supply you with weapons and items you develop. Think of it as your own personal delivery service.
Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
And there it is. Not sure what it's good for, but Miller said you could. Try it out. One thing I should mention. Fulton extraction won't always be successful. If the person is injured, the shock of it could kill them. And if the weather's unfavorable, well, it could end up going missing. You can determine the chance of success by approaching the person you want to extract. If you want to be sure you can get them out, best carry them to the chopper instead. One last thing. The staff members you extracted were all placed on the R&D team, but that was Miller's decision. If you think they belong somewhere else, you're free to move them around. Well, that about does it. You won't make any GMP or find recruits hanging around here. Board the chopper when you're ready for a mission. Open your iDroid and select a landing zone to tell it where to pick you up. Or if you're still in the mood for knocking guys on their asses, you can stay around here a while. Give them in some practice. Just come pay me a visit.
Please select a landing zone. Landing zone.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
No, pero como que los quiero usar, no sé. A ver si lo puedo reclutar. Vamos a reclutarlo. De personal.
Select unit. Staff assigned.
Sol.
Please specify project. Extraction arrived at Motorbase. Development project has been added.
Ya terminé. Oh. Siempre Hideo Kojima, ya me tiene re podrido. Tiene repodrida.
Boss, I know you haven't been back long, but I prepared a list of missions for you. Open your iDroid.
He said I was in a British military hospital, but the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Kelly is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line the UN established.
And Deucalion sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Now, last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state. Though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America. They all have their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like death, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different.
I hear they started calling you Shalashashka in Afghanistan. What's that about?
You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with the type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department.
Forced research. That's not very different from what we do here.
Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice.
And if it wasn't, they'd leave.
Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that's the concept that's taken shape in their heads. The traces of a group ideology, our superstructure, to put it in Marxist terms.
All right. Go on.
Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here.
The men I broke gave up their comrades and families, everything they wanted to protect them most. No real cause for it. I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride. And suddenly I received the honor of becoming Special Interrogation Advisor to the forced labor camps. But the more men I interrogated, the more people saw me as just that, the interrogator. It helped cover my real objective of keeping you safe.
You went that far for me.
Far enough to keep you alive. I ended up being pretty well known among the Afghan guerrillas. Some of them would have seen me on the battlefield. And that's how I got the second half of the name. Shashka. It's a sword. A type of saber from the Caucasus. Russian dragoons and Cossacks carried them into battle. Now the Russian Empire had a general by the name of Fyodor Arturovich Keller. His bravery earned him the nickname Russia's Greatest Shashka. Someone must have known about that, because somewhere along the line, Shashka got stuck on the end of Sharashka. The guerrillas were using the name amongst themselves, and by the time I got to hearing about it, pronunciation had wound up as Shalashashka.
So half Gulag, half hero sword. It was a perfect fit.
But you see how rumors and ideas about people can get out of hand fast. Once you create a character and put it out there in public mind, it warps and twists with every baseless rumor. And before you know it, all people see are phantoms. In my case, it works out just fine. I'm plenty used to working under aliases.
So Salt 2 still hasn't.
Zero created cipher. The Soviet troops on the ground. Snake, I wanted to ask you. You were hospitalized in Dikelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain.
I've taken the job offers Diamond Dogs has received and made a list of those I want you to consider. Which ones you accept is your call. The objectives of the missions I've added are prisoner rescue, facility sabotage, and high-value target elimination. Probably all a walk in the park for you, but they should help you get back on your feet. I put the mission details on a cassette tape. Refer to it if you decide to accept the mission. We'll receive GMP for completing missions, and extracting soldiers and prisoners will boost our ranks. Building up Mother Base is the first step to achieving our goal. If that means Wetworth, the future of Diamond Dogs is in your hands. We're counting on you, boss. is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Deschargo-Calais and eliminate the target. Recon detail with him. Keep your guard up. Dumpster. Looks big enough to hide somebody. You could stash a downed enemy in there, or hide in it yourself. Just don't stand too close to me afterward. Those materials have already been processed. It may not be much, but we can use them straight away if you bring them back to base.
Select unit.
Looks like the enemy's lost sight of you. They're gonna try to hunt you down. Those are raw diamonds. Collecting them as assets will raise our GMP.
Puta, me llegaron eso.